Hi, my name is Kaylee, and this is my reflection on the Real Engine. So, before viewing these films, the image I had when it comes to Indigenous people and where they come from is in my mind, those who are considered Indigenous are people who come and travel from other places around the world, and it could be anywhere. It could be Russia, it could be Greenland, it could be Mexico, it could be Austria. It really doesn't matter. They come and they bring their culture with them. And a big thing when I when it comes to me picturing this is food. So we have Indian food, we have Italian food, we have Mexican food, and so on. And originally, we didn't have that. And it was brought by these people while they were traveling, and they shared their culture with everybody around us. And it became so well known that people will go out for a nice dinner in one of these restaurants from another culture that shows their way of life and, you know, stuff that they typically eat, the seasonings, and it's just a different culture. And another thing that helps me picture is powwows. So, powwows is when a group of those from Native American descent or culture travel around the world and they bring it with them. I actually went to one this year with my family, and they had booths everywhere. Everybody had something different. There were hand carved animals and bows and um, handmade blankets or shoes, and they had jewelry that they were making out of stuff that they found in their everyday homes and using it to help, you know, share their way of life and, you know, be a normal human being and make money. And the thing is that everybody who owned these booths were just wearing normal, typical clothes because they're also human. And I think that when people picture Indigenous people, it's such a like biased thing. It's kind of forced, and many people try to share their culture but are idealized in a specific way that shadows over them, and it is from the media. And visual media is probably the worst thing because it shows you a picture. It doesn't just paint it, it's forcibly like in your face. And visual media creates a picture, idea, and a persona for each character. And when certain traits are commonly used throughout film history, it's all people can picture. For example, the movie Pocahontas was one of the first movies that introduced me to people from other cultures. And as a kid, I couldn't see the difference. I didn't understand the movie. I didn't understand the meaning behind it because to me, people are just people, especially as a little kid. And growing up and living in our society that we have now, it's very obvious about how people are treated different based on their appearance. And now, like growing up with movies that show people of different culture, like Braveheart and more recent 1883, I was led to believe that people with Native American descent or Indians always wore feathered hats and always were horseback and constantly used arrows and spears and, you know, and when people are shown a specific way for so long and are based on that idea, I mean, like, you begin to question things yourself and you're pushed into that role. And the film, specifically for me, kind of pushed me to this reality and helped me see. I mean, I was starting to kind of notice something, but not all the way, with Yellowstone, which is a show that I've watched, for a long time. And it showed Native Americans and they're wearing jeans, they're wearing regular shirts, and they live normal lives and drive cars and have homes and they have farms with horses, but aren't always horseback and they don't wear feathered hats. They exist, they're humans, they have jobs. And I loved how it was depicted in a more modern way, even though more modern shows and stuff still depict Native Americans as people who wear specific clothing. And the film just kind of helped me come to this realization and made it click that, you know, everything is kind of, you know, I would say idealized, and it is hard when there is a huge majority of people who have a specific mindset, and it's hard to impact so many people with such little resources and such few people to advocate. So I think change over time would help impact the representation and identity, because over time things have changed. Like an example is like women's and their right, and because once upon a time we had no rights, and now things are different and working a way to get better, hopefully, fingers crossed. And I think that people who advocate for them and their culture, that it will eventually shed light on how things truly are, and how more modernized indigenous people are just normal people. They own cars, have houses, not teepees, wear modern clothes, and they still have their culture and their roots, but aren't bound by it. They adapt and change with time, and so should film. And these ideas that everybody has for each different culture and way of life, I think that time could change it if there are more people to explain and speak out.